On today, I'll be talking to Windows Labs automatic account management using Microsoft Intune. So before I start, let me give a quick intro about myself. About me, I'm Vaishnav. I have been in the IT industry for almost 11 plus years. Intune, SCCM, modern device management solution are my key focus areas, and I write and impart my knowledge via HTMD community. And this is my LinkedIn handle. You can feel free to follow me over there as well. So regarding today's agenda, so I'll walk you through what is Windows Labs. Labs, which means local administrator password solution. So, and after that, we will check the prerequisite and the requirement of Windows Labs, and also cover some important points to note. And we'll also check Intune support for Windows Labs capabilities. And then we will quickly jump into a demo and create, deploy, and monitor Windows Labs policy. And I'll also walk you through regarding the labs configuration settings on the latest update. And at the end, we will also check how the end result will be. So once you apply the policy, how the end result will look like. And at the end, you have the Q&A session, so you can feel free to ask your questions over the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question regarding the topic. So let me move into my first slide. Um, this is a basic description of what Windows Labs is. So Windows Labs is nothing but Windows local administrator password solution. So every Windows machine has a built-in local administrator account that can be deleted, and which has full permission to a device, and which is used to securing your account. Is a very important step to secure your organization as well. And Windows device include Windows Local Administrative Password Solution, a built-in solution to help organization to manage local admin accounts. And use the Intune Labs policy. What exactly the aim is? So it will help to protect Windows devices from attacks that are aimed at exploiting local user account, like pass and hash or lateral traversal attack. And managing labs with Intune can also improve your security for remote help desk scenarios and recover the device that are otherwise inaccessible. So since it's a local administrator solution, so if it is not accessible also, you can all rights to have a local account already aligned, and you can recover that asset or the device. So since I already mentioned about it's a Windows Labs, so of course it will applies only with Windows 10 and 11 as of now, and only for the endpoints, I mean. And in this slide, I just mentioned about some prerequisite and requirement of labs. So the important fact here is with Intune subscription, or how easily we can check the labs policy and the features, and how we can configure this. So it's a very basic subscription. You can use this feature with Intune Plan 1, which is a basic subscription. And you can also use Windows Labs with a free trial of Intune. So which means whenever you are, again, just consider you want to really check this policy on your test tenant. Um, so when you are checking this policy in your test tenants, of course you have to configure Intune account and Intune subscription. So that is the very basic one, Intune Plan 1. So if it is in corporate environment, you also have the corporate license available. And apart from the Intune license, there is Microsoft Entra ID free license, that also part of the Intune license, I mean. So whenever we are opting for a trial license or something, so we already have that Microsoft Entra free, so which also have the all features and capability of labs. And device can have Windows edition that support Intune, just like any other edition that also support Windows Labs, and must be running the version for the following operating systems to support Windows Labs CSP. So supported operating systems are Windows 11 24H2, and Windows 10, 22, 21, 20S2 with the KB number 5025221 and later. And if you are using Windows 11 22H2, the KB number 5025239 and later, and Windows 11 21H2 with KB number 5025224 and later. So these are the operating system requirement. And in this slide, I just mentioned about some important points to note. So device that are workplace joint devices are not supported by Intune for labs. And one of the other point, labs on Windows device can be configured to use one directory type or the other, but not the both, which means we have an option to configure the backup directory to either we can go for Azure AD or Microsoft Entra ID, but you can't go for both options. So also consider the backup directory must be supported by devices joined with if the set of directory is an on-prem active directory and the devices is not a domain joined device. So in that case, what will happen? It will still accept the policy from Intune, but the labs cannot successfully use that configuration. So that is one important point. And Intune policy for Windows Labs is also supported for GCC High environments. And in case the remote task action for rotate local admin password is not included by an Intune built-in role of Microsoft, Microsoft Entra built-in role or Intune Administrator. So instead, what you can do, you can use a custom Intune role to assign the permission to user who should have this capability. So again, rollback access control for supported labs. We do have other roles as well, but just to be precise, endpoint security manager have all the capability to configure um, labs policy, and read-only operator do have the permission to have limited access, something like they can view the password, view the policy, and all those stuffs. So these are some dedicated roles. And in Intune support for Windows Labs capability. So this is something like the latest version or the latest update of Windows Labs. So what are the capabilities are incorporated? So first, set the password requirement, define the password requirement, including the complexity and the length of a local administrator account on a device. So whenever we are configuring this option, so we have to set this password requirement and rotate password. With this particular policy, you can have the device automatically rotate the local admin account password on a schedule, or you can rotate the password based on your need as well. If suppose if you are already used you already shared the local admin account password for some reason, you can all the rights to have the rotate the password that time itself. So that also possible. And backup account and password, you can choose to have the device backup their account and the password either in Entra ID or in the local the on-prem active directory, Azure active directory. And password is strong with a strong encryption, and password are already again stored in a strong encryption. So that is one thing. And regarding our main update on labs, the automatic account management, so which will support from Windows 11 24H2 and later, and it will simplify the management of built-in administrator account to custom account that you specify. The automatic account management option support disabling or enabling the specified account as well as the randomization of account name prefix to use the automatic account management, also expand the labs account tampering protection. So which means in a traditional method, we do have to configure some of the labs CSP to configure this requirement. So if you want to enable the built-in administrator, we have to either go for a separate configuration profile or the labs policy. But with the latest labs, we have an automatic account management that will allow you to configure all these settings in the same page itself. So that is the biggest advantage. And apart from that, Previously only passwords are rotatable, and from the latest update onwards you do have an option to rotate the local admin account suffix as well. So you have to have a prefix predefined, and after that the suffix kind of a numeric digit, it will be automatically rotated, and you have a unique admin account name and the password as well. And the other options are configure the post authentication action, define this action that a device takes when a local admin account expires. So what will happen, the post authenticate, the action range from resetting the account, resetting the managed account to use a secure password, and logging off the account of doing both them, powering of the device or stuff like that. We do have that option, so I'll walk you through those available options when we are doing the demo. And you can also manage how long the password wait for the password expires and before take an action, so that delay also you can define. And about the view account details, as I already mentioned about a couple of RBAC roles in previous slide, Intune administrator with sufficient RBAC permission can have um, a permission to view about the device local admin account and the current password, and you can see this password was rotated or reset, and when was the next reset schedule. And regarding the report, Intune provide report on password rotation, including details about past manual and scheduled password rotations. So these are the updates about the new labs capabilities. And I just mentioned a couple of the configuration settings when we are configuring the new labs. I'll just cover these settings because these settings are very important. Again, I know this is kind of lots of theory, but still just wanted to cover how this policy or the policy will look like and how we can configure in a better way. So regarding the backup directory, use these settings, configure which directory of local admin account password is backup to. So as I already mentioned, the allowable settings are 0. So which means 0, again in the Intune portal we are not configuring it as 0 because it mentioned as a CSP value. So once we configure these particular settings on a device, I will show you the registry and the event log settings that will be targeting either 0 or 1s based on our settings. So if it is 0, it will be disabled, and 1 is backup the password to Azure Microsoft Entra ID, or 2 is for the traditional Active Directory method. And if it is not specified, it will default to 0. So that is the very basics, or the very first settings. And the password age, and use this policy to configure the maximum password age of a managed local administrator account. And if you not specified this particular configuration, then it will default to 30 days, and the value will vary between 7 days to 365 days if you are configuring or if you are backupping your password with Azure Active Directory or Entra ID, or if you are using a traditional Active Directory on-prem method, it will start from 1 onwards. 1. So that is the other point. And administrator account name, use these settings to configure the name for a managed local account. So if it is not specified, it will build into the local administrator account will be located on a well-known security identifier. So in today's example, what I'm going to do is, since I already have a automatic account management options are available, I am not configuring this option, and we will check the other option and see how we can configure it in a better way. And regarding the password complexity, these are the sum of complexity available in Intune portal, and the first will be the large letter, second option will be the large letter and small letter, and the third will be large letter, small letter and numbers, and the fourth will be large letters, small letter, numbers and special character. So if you are not configuring, so this will default to 4, which means large letter, small letter, numbers and special character. So regarding the password length, use the settings to configure the password length of a local administrator, which will vary again from 8 character to 64 character. And regarding the post authentication action, use these settings to specify the action taken upon the expiration of the grace period. So what action do we need to really take after the expiration period is over? So if you are not configuring, it will default to tree, which means the reset password and log off the managed account. And the other option available is post authentication reset delay. And these settings is based on the hours, and the and the range is between 0 to 24 hours. So either you can configure it for 0 hours, and the maximum allowed hour is 24. And regarding the automatic account management enable, use the settings to specify the automatic account management is enabled. And if the settings is enabled, the target account will be automatically managed. And if it is disabled, what will happen? The target account will not be automatically managed. And if you are not specifying this particular settings, it will be fall back to false. And automatic account management account automatic account management enable account, these settings to configure whether automatically managed account name is enabled or disabled. So this is the point even I just covered in my previous slide. So we do have other options available in the traditional method to configure the same, but in the updated lab we do have all these functionality in this same page itself. So that is the other update about automatic account management. And we have few more options available, that is automatic account management randomized name. So the what exactly it means? So use these settings, configure whether the name of automatic account is use a random numeric suffix. So each time password rotates, the settings will be enabled, and the name of the target will also use a randomized numeric suffix, which means you will each time whenever you are resetting the password, you will get a new account name as well, which means um, the initial name will be same, and the suffix will be rotating. And the account management target, and use the settings to configure which account is automatically managed. And this allow you to configure either 0, which means the built-in account, or one is for a new account created by Windows Labs will be managed. And if it is not specified, what will happen? It will default to the 1, which means a new account will be created by Windows Labs. And the last settings is automatic account management name or prefix. So use these settings to configure a name or prefix of your managed local administrator account. So here in today's example, I will be configuring with HTMD prefix name. And if specified, the value will be used as a prefix of the managed account. And if not, if I'm not configuring that particular option, so Intune itself take W Labs admin, which means Windows Labs admin um, as a prefix. So that's all about the configuration settings. And let's jump into a very quick demo. So just give me a sec. So hope you can able to see my Intune portal. So can one confirm?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. So to configure Labs policy, so most of folks already aware, so we have to go to Intune Admin Center, and we have to navigate to endpoint security. And under endpoint security, endpoint security, account protection. And here we have an option to create the Labs policy. So I'll just click on create policy, and the platform is Windows, and the profile is local admin password solution Windows Labs. So here itself it's mentioned Windows Labs local administrator password solution is a Windows feature that automatically manage and backup the password of a local administrator account on your Azure Active Directory joined or Windows Server Active Directory joined devices. And this policy applies to the MDM supported device and the operating system Windows 10 and later. So I'll just click on create, and here I'll just mention the name as HTMD Windows Labs automatic account management management policy. So just mention Windows Labs automatic account management policy, and I'll just click on next. So this is the configuration settings uh, talking I was talking to. So the very first settings is backup directory. So I'll just click on backup directory drop down and select Windows. I mean Azure Active Directory or Entra ID. So since my test device is Entra joined, and the password is by default it is mentioned as uh, 30. So we'll just go for 8 days, and the maximum allowed time is 365 days. So just going back here and configuring it as 7, I think. Yeah, 7 will be fine. And account administrator account name. So this is the settings I'm not configuring because I just really want to configure the automatic account management enabled in this policy. So I'm just leaving that setting as it is. And the password complexity, we have other options available: large letters plus small letters, and all other options are available here. I'll just go for the default option: large letter, small letter, numbers, and special character. And the password length, I'll just enable this password length as configured. And the length, since it's a test environment, I'll mention it as 8. So you have an option in between 8 to 64 characters. So I'll just mention the password length as 8. And the post authentication action is as I mentioned already in our uh, PPT presentation, these are the other options available um, for post authentication action. And I will select the reset password and log off managed account upon the expiry grace period. The managed account password will be reset, and any interactive sessions using this managed account will be terminated. That will be the default option. I'll set that option. And the post authentication delay, so as I mentioned, the delay will be calculated in hours, not in days, so keep in mind. And as of now, it is 24 hours, and you can set this option from 0 to 24, and I'll keep that uh, reset delay also as default. And the automatic account management enable, and this is the option we were talking about during our theory part. So just click on that, and I will mention the target account will be automatically managed. So that option I'll be set as automatically managed. So once I set this option, you can able to see a few other options also popped up here. And the automatic account management enablement accounts, that is something like we need to uh, configure here. The by default the account will be in disabled state, so I just wanted to make this account as enabled. So I'll change that the target account will be enabled. And the numeric account management randomized name, so what will be the automatic account management randomized name? So I'll just click on this drop down and select the name of a target account will use a random numeric suffix. That was we were discussed during the demo. I mean during the PPT presentation. So that is one settings I just wanted to configure here. And the automatic account management name or prefix. So we have to configure a prefix name. So as I already mentioned, so I am configuring the value as HTMD, and after that you do have the suffix option, which will also rotate based on your each time password rotation. So I'll just configure this as configure. Initially, by default it will be non-configured, and just toggle back to configure, and the automatic account management name or prefix. So what name I need to configure here? So I just mentioned this one as a HTMD, so which means the HTMD will be constant, and after that the suffix will be rotating. So I think that is pretty much on the configuration settings part. So just verifying the settings once again and click on next. And this is the default scope text. So based on your environment, if you are doing it on a production or the enterprise environment, based on that you can um, set your scope text. Since it's a lab environment, I just keeping it as default and click on next. Here is the assignment tab, and I'll just assign this policy to one of my test computer group. So that is HTMD test computer, and the target type is include, and you will also have an option to set a filter over here. So if you have any filter available, so only you can um, configure or target the policy for that filter devices. Um, so that is possible, and as of now I'm configuring it as a very basic settings and click on next. And these are the review option, and once you review all your settings that is configured, so you can check all the settings, and you can save the policy. Just a minute, it should be 14 settings, I mean 12 setting. Yeah. So one option we are not configured, backup directory configured, and password age is configured, and the other option everything got configured here. And once you review all the settings, and you can review and create the policy. For the interest of time, all I already created this policy just a couple of hours back, so I'll just move to that policy and I'll show you how uh, the policy will look like after targeting. So just going to endpoint security, account protection, and this was the and this is the policy I just configured couple of hours back, and you can see it is already targeted to one of my test device. I mean the same device what I just showed you, the same device, and the policy is applied successfully. To check these successful configuration, let me jump into one of the targeted device. Okay, just allow me, let me log into my cloud PC. So this is the test device. I just targeted the labs policy, and I'll also walk you through what and all things you need to check, and what and all logs also you need to refer for the successful deployment, labs policy deployment. So first and foremost, once you targeted the policy, so first you have to go to event viewer. Let me open it from the beginning. Yes, event viewer, and click on application and services log. So it will take some seconds to open that. Okay, just a minute. So application and services log, Microsoft, Windows, and you can see the labs one log over here and click on operational, and you can see the successful labs policy, and anything related to labs policy settings and configuration you can always refer this log. Second, Vidya, can you inform, I think someone is taking that session, can you inform, just don't take the session for now.
Sorry, if you
Yeah, cloud PC someone is using. Can you just inform him?
yeah, fine.
Not use. Yeah. So I'll just logging back my cloud PC. And this is the logs about the settings and one particular event ID. It's 100 100 22, and this event ID will tell us to what and all policy and configuration we have configured based on our lab policy. So you can see over here, this is the event log I just opened, 100 22, and the policy CSP and backup Azure Active Directory and password age and the complex password complexity and password length and post authentication grace period, everything got are reflected over here. And you can also check uh, the registry value. So you have to go to like HKLM software, Microsoft policies. under poly Under policy you can see the labs option here, and all the configured values are reflecting over here. So this is the option uh, that we were discussing, and you can see for the backup password directory and all, the value or the binary value is mentioned as 1 or 0. So this is based on the CSP value, but in the Intune portal we can have that complete description. So that is the biggest advantage about the latest lab policy. So this is how you can check the policies working as expected or not. And right now I just wanted to check one more thing, how the rotation will work. So for that I'll go back to my Intune portal, and since it is configured on one of the device, I'll just open that particular device, and you can see over here the local admin password. So it will show the local admin password, and when it was last rotated, just few hours back, I just rotated the password, and when is the next rotation. So based on the settings what we configure, the next rotation also configured here. So let me log in with this credential, and let's see whether the password is working and the rotation is working as expected or not. Otherwise I'll also do one thing. uh, Rather than checking the current password, I will try to rotate this one just now. I'll just go here in the device node, and you have an option to rotate local admin password, and um, click on yes. So it will rotate the password on demand, and we can also check one other option over here. How about our settings are configured? So as I already mentioned, we do have an HTMD as a prefix, and the suffix will be rotating. So let me go to the local users and computer option, and
Vaishnav, I have one doubt.
yeah.
Yeah. How often does labs rotate the local admin password?
So the rotation, one second, let me the settings what we configured. So that is based on how we are configuring the settings. Okay, so I'll just go to that settings just I described. So account protection, and this is the configuration that we just configured. And you can And you can see over here, right, the password age. So which means password age, as I already mentioned, it will be 7 to 365 days, the maximum value, I believe, yes, 365. So right now I just configured as 7 days, which means every 7 days this password will automatically rotate. That is based on our policy. So on
Okay.
top of that, we have an option to run it and on demand. So that is a real advantage, right? So if a, a desktop admin is using a local admin password, and any vendor is using that local admin password, and if you want to change after that, we don't want to share that one because we already shared. We don't want to use that particular settings. So what we want to do is go to that particular device. Again, it is unique for each device, and this particular settings is unique for both password and the username. So I'll just go to this particular device, and just go here in the three dots in the right hand upside, and you can rotate the local admin password. So that way you can rotate the password, and if once you rotate the password, now you can see I just initiated a rotate local admin password, right? And it's showing as
Yeah.
pending. So just I will refresh the policy from um, my client device. Just a minute. I just sync. I just initiated a sync, and let's see um, whether it's rotating correctly or not. So just initiated a sync, and I'll also, since it will take some time, I'll also restart the device. Let's see whether it will rotate the new password or not. And as I already mentioned, the local admin password here, you can see the local admin account is now HTMD 222206, and the password is this one based on the 8 character what we configured. And just logging back to the device. Okay, it will take some more time. And one more settings I just wanted to show you, whenever you are configuring a lab, right? So lab, I think it was introduced way back in 2023. So that's the reason I just didn't cover this particular option. So once if you're configuring it as a new, so you have to check one more settings from Entra ID. So go to your Microsoft Entra Admin Center and go to devices, overview, and device settings, and you have an option to enable Microsoft Entra local administrator password solution labs. So this should be enabled uh, before you are configuring any policy from Intune. So that is a related settings. So before, this is kind of a prerequisite, I would say. So that is the other requirement. And let me quickly jump into my test device and see whether I can able to rotate my password and as well as my local account name. So that is the new settings, right? So, and I'll also check uh, the status of password rotation here. Still it's showing as pending.
Vaishnav, I have one question here in this.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I mean, suppose for the co-managed devices, if sync is getting break by the Entra Connect, in this case, we are not getting any password on the Entra end and then on the Intune end as well. What we can do in this case?
Okay, so you are considering the password rotation is not happening, right? So that will be your query.
No, it's just not a password rotation. What actually happened? I mean, for in our company, for a few devices, their sync was broken, so the devices was showing on the Entra, it was showing the pending, and we were not able to access the password on the Entra console, and the same as on the Intune console as well.
Okay. So in that case, again, if the sync is breaking in between, so one of the workaround thing what you can set for this particular issue is you can set the password for for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or based on how convenient your company is to set that password. So rather than going for 6 or 7 days, or no, not 6 days, 7 or the lesser days, go for bigger option like 30 days or uh, 45 days, something like that. And once it is configured, right, once the policy is configured, you do have a password available in the Intune portal or Entra portal, right? So you can all rights to use that password. But I got your question. So if it is broken in between, um, so you need to figure out figure out how you can fix that particular issue.
That's right. I mean,
I mean,
it is set for the 14 days, but when the sync is broken, the status is from the registered to pending. And in this case, when we go to the labs particular points, it is the blank. There is no password on the Intune console as on the Entra console as well.
yeah, what exactly it was it happened is it was not taking that policy, because once the connection is broke and the policy based on your configuration, it's not taking place. So that is the other thing we need to check it on. So so if it is 14 days, and initially you will get one password, right? So initial day password, it should work, but you can't get the newer password or the latest password from Intune or Entra portal. So that is the other not disadvantage, but you have to fix that issue. But once it is configured, once the labs core policy is configured, you have the initial password available, right? So that you can take a dump, and you can check with that password. But to answer your question, so we have to fix that. Uh, I mean that particular sync issue, and you can resolve this problem as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's giving. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. By that time, I'll just check whether I can able to log in the device once again. Okay, so the devices came up, and just okay. I just initiate a sync from Intune portal itself. Let's see whether I can able to rotate it or not. So, but still we can use the existing password. So that is the other option. So if it is not rotated, you can still have the old password available in Intune or Entra portal. You can use that password to log in with your local administrator account. And the other option, so the device is back. Sure why it's taking strange. Okay, just let me open the local administrator users and computer. So, and we can verify the settings is working as expected from there as well. So based on our policy, it's working as expected. We'll see how the local administrator password rotation, the local admin name rotation happen. So just a minute. Still taking some time. It's open right now, and go to your users. Click on user, and you can able to see the newly created HTMD um, local administrator, and the account is currently being managed by your corporate administrator. And if you or trying to change any properties over here, it won't allow you to do the same, because it's straight away throwing an error and saying that external policy cannot be configured because it's already managed by some of the other policy. I think in our case it's labs. So okay, so is one thing, and let's try to log in with that rotated password once. So for that, I'll just go to, since I am a admin in this particular device, if I try to run it as admin, it should allow. So I'll just go to command prompt and I'll try with a different user to here. And open location. It's taking lots of time. Okay, let me run this command prompt with a different user, and we can use our labs credential over there, and we'll see whether it's working or not. So for that, I just click on shift, right click, and we can also check whether this action is completed or not. Just going back to my device. Still pending, but we can still use the existing username and password. Allow me 2 more minutes. I won't take much time. Okay, so this is what I was talking to. So this is my policy targeted device, and once I did the local admin password rotation, right? So let me quickly go to the device. So this is the device. I just rotated the password. So you can see the rotate local admin password is completed. And if I go to the local admin password over here, you can see the show local admin password and when it is last rotated, just a few minutes back, and when is the last next rotation time as per the policy schedule. So I'll just click on the local administrator password over here, and you can see here is the local admin name suffix is changed. So HTMD is the prefix that I predefined, and the prefix numeric digit got changed every time when we are rotating the password, or based on the policy when it is rotating the password. So this is a great feature, and you can also see the local admin password also got changed. So just going back to my test device, allow me, yeah, I think this time it won't. Yeah. So this was my last local admin account based on the lab policy. So and as per the current policy, you can see the local username also got changed. I mean the administrator name also got changed. So let me just do a refresh over here. That is the refresh option. Okay, otherwise I can go here and back. Okay. See local users and computers, and you can see over here the suffix got changed now after I rotate the password. So you can see the rotation is just now done few minutes back, and I can okay, I can see now the user name also got changed. So that's a great feature, and I'll just log in with this new credential. Again, password and username both are new. So for that, I'll just open command prompt, and since I already have admin rights for this particular device, I'll just try to open with the different user. So just allow me, yeah, different user. So, and I will try with my new ID. I mean the local administrator ID. So since it's a local admin, I'll put / username and the password. I just don't want to show the password. I'll just copy the password here and I'll just paste the password over here. And let's see whether it's authenticating or yeah. You can see the rotated password, username, both are worked. And who am I? And this is the late the rotated user account. I mean the local administrator and the password both are able to authenticate. And this is how the policy will work. And whenever you are rotating the password each time, keep in mind your account name also getting changed. So that's a great feature and great add-on for it's a great update. Just few months back Intune introduced. So that's all about Windows
So-
Labs automatic enrollment.